Hello there everybody, it's me Leo and welcome back to another Stardew Valley Legacy speed build. So today we are working on the spa and the railroad. I decided to build these two locations together because the lot that I ended up choosing was this giant 50 by 50 lot here in Oasis Springs, and this is one of two lots that we're going to be building in Oasis Springs. So before anything else, I probably sound a little bit weird to you guys. It's really late, and if I sound really tired, that's why. This build took me much longer to finish than I was expecting, and the biggest challenge for me doing this build is actually making everything fit to the structure of the spa itself. Because basically this spa, when you look at it from the outside, it looks really small, but when you actually go inside, it's ginormous. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they made it in Stardew Valley, but it was really hard to actually get the floor plan to look right because it was just impossible for me to do. So it was really hard to get it all to look right. But I think it actually came together really well in the end. I'm really happy with the end result, but I have to say it did turn out significantly larger than I was initially expecting. Also, you guys can see me making use of the glass roofs, which were patched into the game when seasons first came out. I have to say, I thought that the glass roofs were a brilliant addition. Whoever came up with it deserves an award. I thought that they did such a good job with it. The roofing for this, it doesn't look exactly the same as the one in Stardew Valley because I had to take a lot of things into consideration, and one of the things that I'm not really a big fan of as far as roofing goes in The Sims 3 is that when you have glass roofs, it automatically deletes the ceiling of the room that it's placed above on, but when you actually intersect the glass roofs, you can actually see like the roofs come into each other. So I thought that looked really weird, and I was trying to avoid it. So that's why the roofing that I actually ended up with looks a little bit different from how it does in Stardew Valley, and that's because I was trying to avoid intersecting the different roof pieces together because the glass pieces just looked like a mess. So I was trying to avoid that. Also, like the main structure of the spa area, it's huge. It came out like so big. I have no idea like how to fit in the floor plan without making it so big, but overall I think it looks somewhat like how it does in Stardew Valley. Obviously I had to make some major changes, and a lot of that was done to the floor plan itself. And yeah, I just wanted to make it all cohesive and functional as well. By the way, in case you guys missed it, earlier in the video I actually changed the lot type of this place, which was originally a park, and I changed it into a spa. And yes, this is actually a functioning spa. You can actually come here with your Sims and get some spa treatments and get the full-on Sims 4 spa day experience. So yeah, it did take me quite a while to put everything I wanted, but basically the main thing that's in this venue is the swimming pool. I could have easily made it into a swimming pool location, but I felt like making it into a spa just felt a little bit better, so I made it into a spa instead. But yeah, there is like a large swimming pool area over here out back. I did some complicated architecture work here with making the swimming pool area slightly split level, so it was a little bit tricky to do. So basically I had to position the lot. That's why I'm moving it around, because when you actually do the split level work, it's really hard to move the lot because sometimes some items get moved, sometimes they don't. That's just how the game works. So I was trying to be clever and, you know, take a couple steps ahead of the game to make it all work. Anyway, so this pool area, I tried my best to make it look like the one in Stardew Valley, which includes the little split level area and the archways. I also put some blue columns in front of the archways, which I thought looked really cool and looked really similar to how they had it in Stardew Valley. But I wasn't able to make the pool itself as big as the one in Stardew Valley because it's just so huge. It looks a little bit stumpier, but that's fine. I don't really think of it as that big of a deal. I believe in Stardew Valley, the pool is also like a hot spring. So I'm considering actually putting some vents because I think those vents that came with Get Together, they actually like spout like steam. So I think that would make it look like a hot spring, so I have to check that out. Yeah, I was kind of rushing to try to finish this, so as always, a lot of things might change or a lot of things might be added in the final product, but you guys don't have to worry because when I actually upload the final builds, they will be their completed versions. Or if not, I'd probably like upload like updated versions of all of the builds and stuff. Speaking of uploading builds, I wonder if the gallery is broken or not, because some of the hashtags that I am searching just don't show up, and it's really weird because typically I search for those hashtags, but recently they don't show up anymore, so it's kind of freaking me out. So hopefully, you know, I figure it out and hopefully it all gets fixed before I upload all of my builds, because I do not want to upload and have it so that you guys wouldn't be able to find it on the gallery. I just refuse to do so. So hopefully it gets fixed like by the end of the week, because that is when I am planning to upload all of my builds. But yeah, right now we're actually working on the locker area, and I tried my best to make it look like the one in Stardew Valley. Once again, I just really worked my butt off to be as screen accurate as I can, but obviously we had some limitations, and basically I had to really change the floor plan layout to make it actually functional. But in terms of like the actual spaces in this little area right here, I think I actually included everything they had in Stardew Valley, which for the girls area they had like this vanity area, and for the boys they had like this little gym area. Now I know what some of you guys might probably not be comfortable with having separate men and women only areas, but let me tell you, having worked in architecture in real life, it's actually standard for women's bathrooms to have vanities. So when I actually saw it in Stardew Valley, I was actually pleasantly surprised at how realistic it was. When I was at the office, I worked for like a hotel, and a lot of the things I did was actually bathroom work and details. So I actually know firsthand that women's bathrooms have vanities, so that's actually standard practice for us architects. I will also say that men's bathrooms do not have gyms inside of them, for the record. Anyway, it's not really that big of a deal. I just tried my best to replicate what was in the game, so that's that. Over here, I actually included a little yoga training area. I thought that this was a fun little space. I love doing this in many of my builds. I've built a couple of spas before, and I think all of them have this like yoga, you know, instructor thing, and it's really fun. I thought that was a really good use of this space, and yeah, it's really nice. This is actually functional as well, so when you come here, the game will automatically spawn like a yoga instructor, and yeah, it's really fun. So also, just to add in a couple more like spa related activities, I also put in these massage areas as well, and eventually in just a little bit I realized that I also wanted to have like some foot massage chairs as well, so I actually put a couple of those in the locker area. And yeah, hopefully this works. By the way, the lights, I put like some fencing so that the lights would actually look like they're hanging from something, because that's a little bit awkward for me to just have the lights floating in midair and not really attached to the roof. I don't know if you guys even notice that, but yeah, I noticed it, so I just tried to make it look somewhat realistic and plausible. So yeah, I think at this point most of the interior is done, so we're just doing a little bit of work over here in the outside. But basically over here we're doing like this little pond area outside of the spa. By the way, this little pond area reminds me of like Japanese gardens and, you know, onsen, which is like a traditional Japanese hot spring. Those are typically like divided into male and female ones, so that's anyway. My point in bringing that up is actually how this place reminds me so much of the onsen, which is, as I mentioned earlier, a Japanese traditional hot spring. And these like little hot spring things are actually really common in like farming simulation games. By the way, I don't really like to refer to Stardew Valley as a farming simulation because I feel like it's much more than that. I think it's a little bit better to refer to it as a country life simulation, but I digress. The point that I was trying to make is that, well, in many of the Harvest Moon games that I played, they always had like an onsen or like a Japanese traditional hot spring bath. And what this does is pretty much the same as what the hot spring does, which is to restore your character's health and energy when you stand into the water and soak in the hot spring goodness. So that's that for the hot springs. But over here for the little railroad, it's actually a train station that doesn't really function as anything other than the fact that every time a train passes by, you can occasionally collect certain things like coal and wood and rocks and stuff. Well, at least that's what I do in Stardew Valley. But yeah, we're just including it here because I don't know. These two locations, they're in the same like region in Stardew Valley, which is like the northern part of the mountain region. So I was like, you know what? Why not just put these two together? Because we have this really large lot that we have way too much space for. So I feel like I'm definitely going to be going a lot in this lot because there's actually like the area surrounding this lot actually has a lot of places to collect frogs and to fish and to collect rocks and stuff, so I think that's going to be pretty cool. So this is just me detailing the railroad, and I'm actually using some like ruin things from Get to Work. No, it's from Get Together. So yeah, anyway, finishing things off, I'm including some trains. I don't know how trains work, so I tried my best to make this have like a logical progression. So basically behind the main car and the front, I put like a coal thing because I feel like they would be shoveling coal right to the engine or something. I don't know. But yeah, this is like the train. It's probably wrong, but I tried my best. And I think the last thing that I'm actually gonna do is actually just do a little bit of landscaping. I'm probably gonna change this up a little bit more. I'm probably gonna add more detail to the landscaping off camera, but for the screenshots, hopefully you guys will forgive me if that's all I have for you. So anyway, I think that is actually pretty much it for this build. Oh my gosh, we're so close to the end. So I just can't believe it. Once again, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who have been supporting this series. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this build. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. You all have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.